Hi there. I'd like to tell you a bit more about strategy execution accountability partnerships. But first, think of this question. Do you think spending less than 2% of your weekly billable time can deliver outsized returns and help you create future fees? Just think about that for a moment, would you please? And what about this question? Who amongst you would like to stop talking and actually take a step and start doing? Now, you may wonder, why is the value proposition that I'm proposing to you strategy execution? Well, to achieve results, I've learned that what we need to do is go from talking to doing, and that involves taking a first step. It means going from simply focusing on the practice of law and tactics to focusing a bit on strategy and the business of law, spending some time there, or on the vertical, going from wheel spinning, which often leads to frustration, to executing, which leads to fulfillment. And the way you do that is through accountability. And that's why I built this model to show you how I can take you straight from working harder, not smarter, which is what happens when you focus on the practice of law and you wheel spin on executing your strategy, to going to the top right quadrant, which is working smarter, not harder, which simply involves focusing on the business of law in addition to the practice of law and also executing on your strategy. We'll skip hit and miss, which is what happens when you don't have a strategy and you're just executing on tactics. And we'll also bypass making slow progress, which happens when you have a strategy, but you're not executing on that. So, what traits do top strategy executors show? I'm going to illustrate it in this way. Firstly, they adopt an owner mindset, they take ownership of this. Secondly, they take consistent actions. It's consistency over intensity, week in, week out. They like being accountable to someone. And lastly, they focus on progress, not perfection. So those are the traits. Next up, how do we hold you accountable to execute your strategy? Stand by. Can you recall me showing you this image, going from the little hill over here to the mountain, or from commitment to results? Well, step one means you have to craft your strategy, or in this case, you have to plan the summit attempt, right? Secondly, you have to schedule some focus time in your week, because the opposite of focus is distraction, and we see so much of that at the moment. Thirdly, you have to escape the whirlwind. You have to step away from the whirlwind of busyness and spend some time with yourself in the focus time that you've scheduled in your calendar 3 times a week, no more than 15 minutes at a time. And just think about the business of law and work on the strategy that I'll help you craft. Step four means you need to check in with me, your accountability partner. Every single time you've done the work, check in with me. And then, last but not least, we'll help and we'll hold you accountable to execute on your strategy, right? And we'll do that using dashboards, weekly and bi weekly check ins. And that's the way you get from the point at the bottom of the screen to that summit in the middle at the top of the screen. And that's what we call the Unlok Way. Right, what are the benefits of the Unlock Way, you may ask? Well, you start optimizing your time and you use the little pockets of time that are available to you, 3 by 15 minutes a week. That's all we need. Because if you do that consistently, over 10 months, you would have implemented 30 hours of strategy. That's the effect. And it would have compounded. So in fact, it's probably more than just 30 hours in reality. Secondly, you'll have clarity and confidence that you're actually executing on a strategy and not just being busy with the practice of law. And lastly, you're going to experience practice growth, because that's how your practice grows. Not working harder, not billing more hours, but spending some time, non billable time, on creating future revenues by acquiring those clients that you've always wanted, or enhancing the satisfaction and even loyalty of the client that you already have. So those are the benefits. Right, next steps. Let's wrap up. Firstly, All that you need to do is choose a start date, right? Start this journey with me as your accountability partner. Secondly, spend time with me, less than 1 hour, to craft your strategy on a page. And thirdly, start executing your strategy, spending 1.5% of your billable time. What am I talking about? Well, think of it. If you spend 50 hours at the office, not necessarily billing all those hours, right? But that's your potential billing time. If you spend to spend 10 hours a day for 5 days a week, 45 minutes, which is three 15-minute sessions, is 1.5% of that potential billable time. That's all I'm asking. And I hold you accountable to start creating those future revenues and to start delivering outsized returns with such a small investment of time. Thanks for watching, and start the accountability journey now. Reach out to me. I'm available. Cheers.